calavera, mira, mira, calavera. Dale 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 calavera, mira.
Hey guys, it's me, Irma Ruiz of Mind Twist Comedy, and today we are doing tarot card comedy again. Yay! Okay, and we have a very special guest with me. I am in Las Vegas right now. I have Mr. Chris Shaw. We are doing tarot card comedy, and we're doing it with my good friend of Las Vegas comedy, Chris Shaw.
You got choked up for a second.
I was like, Chris Shaw. Yes. Chris, how do we even meet? I was just thinking about that a little while ago.
We met.
Was it in San Antonio?
Yeah,
Or
San
I think we
Antonio,
were
years.
Facebook friends first.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But years and years and years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
I don't keep track of when I meet,
People.
Latinos and black people.
Why?
Only white people.
Why?
Because I might have to raise white people back, but
Okay.
the other ones just doesn't matter. It's just like somewhere in the 90s, I met you.
Ooh.
No, I really don't know. Like all my Texas friends, I really can't even pinpoint when I met my Texas friends because I've been there so many times, and
Yeah.
especially San Antonio. So I don't know. It was
Yeah.
somewhere.
I think
within
we
the
just like
last
become
5,
friends
10
with,
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just become friends with somebody and you just feel like, oh, I've known them forever. And
Yeah.
you're like, wait, how did we meet? That was the same thing with Ty and I. Like Ty
Mm-hmm.
and I are friends, but I don't know when or how like we became friends. It just
I do know when I met Ty.
okay,
I
tell
can
me.
pinpoint exactly when I met Ty.
What did you meet Ty?
I met Ty with the first time I moved to the West Coast. I met Ty the day after I moved to Los Angeles, and we worked together in Palm Springs, California on Halloween night, and we had an amazing time together. That's the first time I ever met him, first time I ever heard of him, and we did a podcast directly after. We had an awesome, so I know Ty from way back.
Way back.
Yeah, way back.
How long have you been doing comedy?
21 years.
21 years.
21 years.
Holy mackerel.
But it feels like forever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it does.
You want to see what your future in comedy is going to be like? Let's pull 2 cards.
Yeah. Oh,
Two-
now?
Yeah.
Right
let's
now?
Touch the cards. Touch the cards.
Okay.
Touch the cards. Give me your magic. Okay. So let's pick 3 cards, and these 3 cards are going to basically tell how your comedy world is going to be
Okay.
in the future. Okay, first card right here. Bum, ba-dum. Ooh, challenging. But what kind of challenge?
Kind of challenge.
Yeah, I mean, because that could mean anything. That could mean like challenges within the scene, challenges with yourself. I feel like that's so broad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think? Like, have you been feeling like challenged by anything like lately as far as like when it comes to comedy?
Yeah, I felt challenged my whole career. It's
Yeah.
almost like I feel more like a facilitator than, like I would like to be a little further, but I would like to do broader things, and I've always liked to help people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see myself as somebody like, oh, I want to get on that show because I want to be on top of everybody. Sometimes I feel like I have an eye to see talent. So if I see somebody that has talent, I want to keep encouraging them because we need these type of people in our business. You know what I mean? We don't need shitty people in our business that clutter it up. So I always try, when I see talent, I always try to encourage them or let them know, hey, man, I really enjoyed it. And not like I'm the say-so of funny. But
Yeah.
personally, I've seen so much comedy. It's like I know when I see talent. You know what I mean? Because I've seen
Exactly.
people make it before, and I know what it takes to make it. And it's hard to make me laugh. Even when I say stuff myself, I don't laugh off of it. It
Yeah.
has to be really funny if I'm laughing out loud.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
And that's interesting that you say that because, you know, like, sometimes I know people are funny, but I don't think they're funny. But I also need to tell myself not to judge other comedians based on what I think is funny.
Right.
Just because I'm not laughing doesn't mean they're not funny.
Exactly.
It's just me. I don't think that they're funny.
They didn't hit your button.
Yeah, but I'm listening to them in a crowd and everybody else thinks they're funny. So I'm like, oh, this guy's got something.
So you
know what I mean?
You
So
respect
I'm
their talent. You respect
absolutely-
their art, but it's not necessarily, it doesn't
It may not be my style, you know. But yeah,
I know what sushi does for everybody else. I don't like sushi. I don't like seafood. That's
Yeah.
not you know what I mean?
Exactly. With you. Okay. Next card. All right, here we go. You ready? resisting temptation. And have you ever felt like you've taken like maybe, I mean, because this could be, this is so, I'm going to talk about money. But of course there's other things like, you know, infidelities within the scene and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? But let's talk about money. Like, have you ever taken like a job that you felt like was maybe not a good job, but it just paid very well? So you're like,
You mean in comedy?
yeah.
Heck yeah, everybody has.
Yeah.
That's what makes you a comedian, because you do shit that nobody else would do.
Yeah.
Like you drive in severe weather, you lose relationships, you lose you miss so many events. Like it's almost like one of those, what do you call that? What's that thing that everybody it's like an Illuminati, but not really. Mm-hmm. It's like a shitty version of Illuminati.
Yeah.
Being a comedian. I mean, it's not shitty as far as what you get out of it soulfully, but it's shitty as far as like everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You sell your soul in a sense.
Right. Right.
Supposedly, but we know what we get out of it. But you wouldn't know if you're on the outside. Like you can go into a comedy club or Mike, and then you can see various comedians or comic type people, and they're different ages, races, sexualities. And I don't think you can do that in any other profession. Even musicians don't get together like that. And it amazes me. Sometimes I don't even go out to comedy clubs to perform. Sometimes I want to go because I want to study.
Just hang out.
Yeah, I want to hang out. I want to study, see what people are doing. And I want to just really appreciate the field that we're in, because it's, you see some 60, 70-year-old comedians out here, like, you should be asleep if you're a regular person. Yeah. But they're not a regular person because they're a comedian.
Yep. Exactly. Let me change the subject a little bit, because we're talking about temptation and stuff. What do you think? Because a lot of people will always say, do not date within, like, if you're a comedian, don't date a comedian. You know, do you know like any couple comedians that actually have made it? Because I think this is being in comedy is so difficult for like relationships. I know you're married, I'm married, and thank God you have to be married to an extremely special and amazing and understanding person to be in this
and
field.
They have to have a fucking sense of humor.
Yeah.
My wife's from another country, so that's the thing that makes it unique about us, because she's she's been in the United States for like 21 about as long as I've been doing stand up. But she understands my humor. Now some things that's super basic, she doesn't understand, and I have to break it down to her, like she's never heard of Malcolm X. Never even heard of him. But other stuff that I ask her about, like a song comes on, she's singing, I'm like, well, how do you know that song? Yeah. And so, but she gets my humor. Right. Like I can run some dark humor by her, and she's laughing. I'm like, how do you get that? Yeah. And you don't get this, but you know what I mean? So, but she gets all the things I need her to get. Yes. And it's very, very hard to understand our lifestyle and to understand how people walk up to you and approach you. And I remember recently I went to a comedy show to support some other comedian friends. Just going to watch the show with a fellow comedian. We get there, and they're treating these guys like stars, right? And then they're trying to bring out a drink to one of the comedians, and then I'm going to call them and like, oh no, don't worry about it. We'll have it waiting for them at the bar. It's okay. We're taking care of them, and we got it. And I was like, no, I want to tell them, like, no, I know this guy. Yeah. And I'm a comedian as well, but I was trying to I was being on the outside moment. And I was like, and I knew that I was going to be performing in the same venue in like 2 months. Yeah. I just didn't even say anything. I just like, oh man, that's crazy. That's what it feels like on the outside. But they were, and he was me several years back. Like he was getting his first taste of this, and he was out there. He's hanging out with people out in the street. I think he was smoking weed or something. And I used to do all that stuff, and then like it, you know, it kind of like, it was almost like an outer body experience. Like, oh my God, that's the cycle. That's the cycle of life as a comedian.
As a comedian.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It is. It's a weird lifestyle. And sometimes I feel like my normal people in my life kind of judge me a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I'm like always on the road. And I try to take my either somebody's always with me, either my tech guy, AKA son, or my daughter, because I homeschool her. She's homeschooled. So we're able just to pick up and go to Dallas, Fort Worth, whatever, you know, I'll take her with,
as long as it's working out for everybody, then it's
Exactly.
nobody else's business. And
Exactly.
I don't really
Thank
care.
you.
I don't really care what anybody thinks at this point.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. Okay, third card on the future of comedy.
But so temptation is
just anything.
anything. Like
There's so much temptation, I think, in
the temptation I fall for is junk food.
junk food. Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll tell you straight in the camera.
There's a lot of temptation within the scene too. Of course, one of my problems is alcohol. I do drink a lot. You know, there's drugs out there. There's
drugs out here.
There's some.
In
I think
Vegas?
that's what I heard.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. That's what I heard.
You know what?
You know?
I say a successful comedian is somebody who doesn't fall to any of those temptation things. We're probably surrounded by more temptation than anybody, and I say this even musicians because we're alone, and musicians usually are with people.
Yeah.
Somebody like a manager, a road manager, or somebody if they make it to a certain level, but it's just us.
Yeah.
So you have to fight off everything. And when people know that you want something on the road, they'll come and give it to you. You know what I mean? Like they'll approach you, they'll watch you during your show. You won't even know they're watching you. And then they'll try to, like, I've seen comics, young or aspiring comics, after a show that talk to me like, hey man, show is awesome. I'm like, oh wow, thanks, you know. And they'll buy a t-shirt. Can I buy you a drink? Oh, it's like, yeah, sure. Like, sure, I guess. And then we'll sit down. And then all of a sudden they'll tell me they're an aspiring comedian. I'm like, oh,
Here we go.
I thought I wouldn't fall for this one again. They're buying my time. You know what I mean? So it's all like.
And then you do the whole, hey, it's not about the money. you know?
Yeah, and I get it, but I never thought about buying somebody a drink and some of their merchandise when I was an aspiring comedian. I went and just tried to talk to people I seen coming in town to big comedy shows, and they'd be like, they were talking to everybody else, and you want to buy something? I'm like, no. All right, well, And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so mean.
Yeah. Well, when I was younger, I mean, I've only been doing comedy for about six and a half years. But my thing was I would just sit there and just kind of, I would see groups and I would just kind of wiggle my way in. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say anything. I would just shut up and listen. And for probably about the first 3.5 years of comedy, I didn't say anything.
Well, you said something because apparently that's how I met you.
Yeah. And now I feel more comfortable. I can say what I want to say, do what I want to do. There's something I don't like, I'm just like, no, I don't like you. I'm just take a step back. You know what I mean?
I remember seeing your switch go off. I seen your switch go off. I remember one point in time where you were just Irma, and then all of a sudden you were Irma.
Yeah, I'm like I am what I am. I know what I can do. I've proven my point. People, I may not at that point when I did the switch, I may not have been the best comedian. I'm not there yet, but I will be someday. But I felt comfortable enough to be able to speak and to where nobody could say anything and put me down. You know, I felt comfortable already. You know, so okay, we didn't pick that third card. Let's do it. Chris, you ready? Here we go. Bam. Okay. I mean, so this is a perfect card.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
It's a good card for entertainers.
Yeah, it's a great card, especially a comedian. You know, you have to be like ho ho ho. I'm
jolly.
I'm a jokester.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's an easy one. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna pull two cards.
Okay.
Okay, let's see how they relate to each other. Here's the first one. Balance. Okay.
Hey, so.
What is that? I can't see it.
Oh, the scale, Libra.
Oh, balance. Interesting. Okay, but then I'm pulling this one to go with it. Let's see what we can get out of this one here. Wanderlust. I like this one. So we said balance and wanderlust. Wow, that's so wanderlust just means like you're just free spirited. Like you don't like being in one place all the time. Am I right, TJ?
Yes.
Like you just like free spirited. Like you like the road. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely correct.
Like at home, I have like my home and I have my place where I'm comfortable, where I'm like steady, but I like being on the road. And you were talking about that just a little while ago. Tell them what you were talking about. All those hours on the road. Tell them how many miles you have on your car. Tell them.
414,000 miles.
414,000 miles. So he was in San Antonio, I think, when I did that show for you at that Spider House.
Web House.
The Web House.
Yeah,
Web
Spider.
House. Spider House. Web House. And,
Same thing.
yeah.
Close.
And I thought he flew down there. Apparently he drove.
Who did? I did.
You said you drove. Or did you fly?
No. I've driven to San Antonio tens of times in that car. But then, since I've been out here, no.
Oh, okay.
This is the new me.
I was like...
When you live in Vegas, you don't have to drive anywhere. You could fly for way cheaper you can ever drive.
Oh, yeah.
Did you drive out here?
No.
Yeah, so, yeah, we didn't. No, we flew
And
there.
it's pretty cheap. Airfare
Yeah,
is pretty cheap,
very.
especially if you get it, like, really, really early.
No, I didn't drive. No, this car, since I moved to Vegas almost 3 years ago, this car has not left Vegas. Like, literally, it hasn't even been to L.A.
Wow.
I've driven other cars to L.A., but not mine. Like,
so
I don't want to put her on the road like that no more. She's postmenopausal.
The car.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know what I mean?
So, we had this car, which it represents balance. What was the name of the card again?
Two of Swords.
The Two of Swords. And you said you're a Libra.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that, September?
It's late September, October through the 19th or 20th.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
So tell me what are the characteristics of a Libra?
Everything has to be balanced. Like even if you work too much, you have to have a social life too. Mm-hmm. Everything, like, you can't. If you do something over here, you got to do something over here. Sometimes it would go as far as if somebody hit me over here, I say, hit me over here, man. You know what I
Feel
mean?
a little off.
Yeah, like I really have to have balance. Like, that's I can't ever be a bad person.
Yeah.
And I can't ever be too good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a cool ass motherfucker.
So do you believe in karma?
Of course I do.
I do too.
You say caramel?
Karma.
Okay.
Karma.
I thought you said caramel.
No, karma. I believe in karma.
I believe in caramel. Yeah, karma too. Yeah, but karma, yeah.
I do. And, like, I just feel like when somebody's mean to you or they do something bad to you, you don't even have to do anything back. Mm-hmm. You just have to sit back
and watch.
Something's
Patience.
going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one guy was mean to me on Facebook, and then he died.
He died?
Yes. I was like, that's what you get. No, I'm just kidding.
Facebook karma, bitch.
I know. Here goes. Next card. Here we go. And boom. Card of planning. And aren't y'all moving into a new house?
Yeah.
You said, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
A lot of planning going on.
Had y'all been planning on it for a while?
You know what?
So are y'all moving out of like a condo or
It's
an
a
apartment?
townhouse.
Oh, okay.
Like an apartment, but it's apartments, but not apartments, townhouse. But I think we had a plan when we moved here, but then the plan just got overshadowed by life in general. Mm-hmm. And then our son was like, he had a friend, and that friend and his family were moving away, and then we were like, where are they moving to? And this is like mid-pandemic, and he was like, oh, they're moving to a house. And we was like, a house?
What?
How they moving to a house? And then my wife said, let me look into seeing what rentals is like. And then she looked, and she was like, well, let me see what...
You can buy a house for the same price as renting.
Yeah, so that's how that happened. And I actually told that kid's dad, I said, hey, man, we weren't even...
thinking about it.
We were. It was in our initial plan. We talked about it out loud, but we hadn't even thought about it until they made a move to move away, and then we were.
I loved your reaction. A house.
Yeah, we were disappointed our son was losing a friend. That was the first thing. We was like, dang, why is he leaving? You know,
he's not going
his
far,
family
Dad.
treated our son very, very nice, and then when he moved away, and then we knew what they were doing. We knew what we were doing. We were like,
what?
yeah, are we doing something wrong?
Uh-huh.
You know, and then we looked into it, and it was like, okay, well, sometimes you need a jump start, and that's always good, man.
So was it your first house?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's not her first house. It's my first house.
Okay, but here.
Oh no, it's my second house. But it's my first brand new house.
Oh, okay. But the first time buying a house?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There's tons of programs for first time homeowners.
I know.
That's awesome. Well,
I'm
congratulations!
I'm excited.
Yeah. So is it just you, the wife, and the son?
Or
you have
and
y'all
our
have
16-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Well, she's almost 17, but
Okay.
yeah. And it's cool because it's one of those things where you work hard and then you see something happen. And you know what? For the longest, I've always thought I want to work hard at my craft and then make it and then go buy a house. And I never thought, like when we're on our grind.
You can do it simultaneously.
No, or you can do it the other way around.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you can't do that and then do. Because when you start doing comedy, I'll tell you what happens in 21 years of comedy. In 21 years of comedy is just like a marriage, and you could fall out of love with comedy over time if you don't treat it like you treated it when you first started doing it. You know what I mean? You have to really treat comedy, because comedy, and sometimes comedy is comedy will hook up with other people that you know. You know what I mean? You ever seen comedy start promising you stuff? It's like, yeah, Irmaand, I'm about to hook you up with this. I'm gonna get you on this show, and I'm gonna hook you up with this club. And then next thing you know, somebody you know is fucking with comedy. And you're like,
and you're like, hey,
comedy. I thought you, yeah.
Well, what about me?
And comedy's like,
there's a new face.
I'm
over
a free
here.
spirit, and I like hooking everybody up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Comedy will go behind your back and hook up your best friend that's a comedian. And it won't even answer to why them and not me? Why would you hook them up? And it's like, it's just all about the moment, whatever the moment is at the time. And then like before COVID, I think when COVID came, it hit a reset button, and then it became anybody's moment.
Yeah.
Before it was certain people, it was past laid out. Okay, we knew who was at the top of the food chain as far as stand-up goes.
Before the pandemic.
Who was at the top? It was Kevin Hart, and it was kind of like peeking through Tiffany Haddish kind of. And then some other little ones, you know, here and there. And then it was like the reset button, and then now it's like who is it now?
Yeah, exactly.
Even Tiffany Haddish just released a new They Ready Too.
Yeah.
But
with
you have to keep some momentum going behind that. Like, and it's other people who were getting looked over that are peaking now and that are popping up. Like, I see a lot of things happening. It's just so, and I foreseen all this happening. Just because there was so many people that deserved a chance, and then it was like, I don't know what it was, but all the things that were happening, I feel, because of networks and people up at the top controlling what people like. Yeah. And then when the pandemic came, you had Zoom, you had all these other things, and all these people like you creating other platforms and stuff.
I met so many people during the pandemic, like in other cities, other states. You know, the Zoom shows were not my favorite. Right. But I would still do them, as uncomfortable as it was, which actually I did. I was glad I did a lot of Zoom shows.
I didn't.
Because last night I did a show. I'm not going to say where or anything. But the audience was so light. You walk in, everybody had like water bottles. You're like...
Was this a Zoom or real life?
That was a real life show here in Las Vegas. And... so the host went up and he did, I was like, you know, and I was right after him and I went up and I was like, it was so uncomfortable and all I could think, I was like, thank God I did all those Zoom shows. Because that's what it felt like. I felt like I was talking to myself. But I stayed and I watched the rest of the show, and from beginning to end, it wasn't just me, thank God.
Well, of course, it never is.
Beginning to end, everybody was having the same issue. And even like the headliner was like, man, y'all just do not want to give it up. Like, y'all are holding on to those laughs like for dear life. You know, like...
You know what I do in those moments?
I just do my show as if they are laughing, because I know.
What I'm saying, yes.
I know exactly where my pauses are. I know where the laughs are supposed to be. And even if they're not like laughing, you know, uncontrollably, at least I know they're like...
There might be thinkers. Like, what if you have a room full of thinkers? What if they weren't laugh out louders? I mean, what if you had a room full of people like me? Like, if you hit me and I'm not expecting it, I'm going to be the loudest person in the room laughing. uncontrollably, and I'm going to be noticeable. But that rarely happens.
Yeah.
But it does happen. But if it's something like I'm really a fan of stand-up. So I'll be like, I've seen a lot of stand-up, a lot of places, and I'll be like, I heard that. Oh, I never saw that coming. And then if you really catch me off guard, I'm like, ah! Yeah. And that's because, that's something I haven't seen.
Exactly.
Or in a while, or I like how you came at it, you got me. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, exactly. I can see it all. You know what I mean? Oh my God, we haven't even picked a card lately.
Okay.
Okay, next card. Bada bing.
Bada boom. That's dead on. I'm like so when when you don't see me out on the scene, that's exactly what I'm doing. And this has nothing to do with stand-up comedy. It's just me as a person. I take on so much energy from people, and I have so many friends. There's some points I'm overwhelmed, and I become recluse like a spider. Like I will literally go away, and then you think that I moved or something. You like, oh, what happened to Chris? Yeah. And it's just that I need to hibernate a little bit. I need a break so I can get my energy back. It's almost like I'm the Green Mile dude. Ving Rhames? Yeah. And then I've sucked in all the bullshit I can, and then I go back to my cell and coughing, and I just need to get better. That's all.
Okay, we're gonna pick one more card, and this is gonna be the last card. And do you have a question?
It better not be the death card.
I know.
It better not be the death card.
No, do you have a question that maybe the cards can answer for you?
Yes, I do have a question. Okay. What will my legacy be?
What will your legacy be? I like that one. Okay, let's see pick one. Your legacy. Bum bum bum. Choice. Oh my gosh. It's up to you. What do you want your legacy to be? It is up to you. Fate is not deciding. You are deciding. Wow, that's a lot of power. That's a lot of control right there. Yeah.
I don't know.
You are in control of your own fate, your own legacy.
I think that's like with anybody, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a message for anybody. You are in control of your own fate, and if you don't do it, it won't happen. And people are only blessed with the opportunity that's in front of them. If you have an opportunity that's there, then you take advantage and you seize the opportunity. And if not, then hopefully.
And if there's not an opportunity, you create an opportunity.
And maybe it comes back around, but you can't just assume it'll come back around because it probably won't come back around unless you're highly favored.
I've heard a saying that says, I think this is how it goes. If opportunity doesn't knock, build the door. Yeah. You have to create your own opportunity.
That's weird because I heard the same saying from Lil Wayne, and he said opportunity knocked. I thought it was police, and I ran out the back door. I was like, I would have too if I were you, Lil Wayne.
I'm not even sure if that's how the quote goes. I think it went something like that, or I saw it on a T-shirt or a meme or something. But this is an awesome card to end on. Legacy and choice. It's your choice. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Chris Shaw.
Thank you, Irmaand.
Thank you. And if you're ever in Las Vegas or anywhere, do you have a website? Yes, tell people how to find you.
It's chrisshaw.com, spelled with a K, or you could visit my Pandora station.
Oh, okay.
I got it's called Chris Shaw's Green Room Radio, and it's a really good station. Has a lot of up and coming comedians, solid comedians on there. It's got some jazz in between, and subscribe to that.
I did not know that you had that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm so quiet, man.
So it's gonna be all on the screen here. If you don't see it, you see it now. Okay, it's on the screen where you can find him. Do you want to plug yourself? Social media? I know you said Pandora. Your website's there. Anything else?
Right now, just follow my website, and then maybe some cool stuff. You'll see some cool stuff pop up pretty soon. But just working on a lot of different projects and trying to be more balanced and spreading out, not just with stand up, but other ventures in entertainment.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes our tarot card comedy. All right. Find us on YouTube. Find us anywhere. And good night. Thank you. Toodles.